Okay, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome. Hey, Tuxedo. Hey, Jason. Hi, John and Art Chapman. Hey, Greenbeard. How are folks this evening? Evening for me. Afternoon. I guess we figured this is technically afternoon. How are folks? So today, as the thumbnail suggests, we're going to work on the Mercury1. So this printer, I really like a lot. But the Klicky probe I have on here decided to stop being reliable very recently. So, hey John. Hey Lord Getface. Hey William and Alan. Hey Belphegor and Wick Central and Barry. So I figured I've got a couple of these PZ washers from E3D, and I did a little bit of experimenting using them under the bed on a V2, but I'd like to see if I can get it to work on here. That will allow me to keep the hot end that's on here, but still get direct nozzle touch probing. So I don't know if this is going to work. In fact, I came up with this plan and sent my thumbnail picture over to Mike at E3D, and he says, "There be dragons." So there are some caveats. We're not going to be trying this in an ideal scenario. So it may or may not work. So we'll find out. But we're going to have fun trying. Tin Talon, hello. Hi, LSLDP. I hate these new names. I don't hate the names. I hate that I have to remember new names. Hey, Valtari and D-Max. Bearded Printer, thanks for the gifted memberships. Hey, Turtle Crawler. This is what it takes to bring a turtle crawler out from the depths. Work on the Mercury1. Hey, Bob. Hey, Jeff. Moosin. Papa Waketh. See the big release at Whisker yesterday. Hey, Jeff. No, what's the big release? I actually saw, I get too many emails from Whisker. I get too many emails. So they end up going into the round file just automatically. I'll have to check out what the big release was. Moving. Hey, Robert. I have the opportunity to pick up Prusa Mark 3S for around $150 along with a bunch of accessories. Worth it? Yes, absolutely. That sounds worth it to me. You do have to go walk the dog. Wants 3 new robots, LR5 and Evo. Oh, okay. I'll go check it out. Okay, let's start this. So the idea is I want to replace Klicky on this. I already did some modeling. I just did it last night. Just kind of executing my plan. And let's go start today by looking at the E3D documentation on this, which I based some of my work on. Hey, Skyrim. So if we go to the E3D page, now in the description is a link directly to where we're going. But if you go all the way down here to the Help Center, the Help Centre, and there is a PZ Probe standalone section. If you want to get to the Revo PZ support, you go to Revo support, and there is a Revo support for the Voron PZ Probe. That's not the one we want, because there's some different information in here that we need. AI, camera, and intelligence. That seems redundant. Does it mean it has artificial intelligence and real intelligence? Hi, Tiberium. Okay, so make sure you read this guide in its entirety before using PZ Probe. I've read the guide in its entirety. We're going to skim it here, though. Trigger, so this is all features, sensitivities. I could use real intelligence. General notes. Okay, here's a good part here. After successfully connecting and mounting the PZ probe, as well as adding the code needed in the configuration, there are some important details about how the PZ probe works and what impacts the performance. Hi, Closey. The more rigid the motion system the PZ probe is installed on, the better it will perform. That's a good question on this setup. I don't know relatively how rigid this is compared to how well this would be expected to perform. Lower sensitivity and probing speeds can be used. Less rigid systems are more likely to not trigger and therefore usually require higher probing speeds. Here's Oscar. Hi, Phil. Better CAD identification and a sensor to detect the type of waste. Number 2 spins right away and urine waits to clump. Oh, that's interesting. That's cool. Are there upgrade systems? New liner system in the globe. Cool. Oscar, of course, hit keys, so let's scroll back up. What's up, buddy? Vibrations from the motor and Z-axis is the most common cause for false triggering. A useful way to test the PZ probe while changing settings is to lightly tap the tip of the nozzle with a small metal ruler or pen. Hey, no garage. You're all set. Yeah, I've got myself set up to raid over to you. It is recommended when probing the bed to probe when the nozzle temperature is 50 C below the target temperature to avoid oozing. We will set this up to do the 150 C nozzle temp max. Spartacus. Probing speed is important. Probing too slow will result in no triggering failure mode. Probing too quickly will result in inconsistent and inaccurate probing. Hey, Death Cube. The output signal from the PZ probe is an active low. This means that when idle is high, okay. Connecting the PZ probe to your printer. Heatsink is mounted as with a normal Voron heatsink. Oh, this is a little a copy paste error, I think, here. Let's see, down here there was a spot. PZ probe board mounting. It's all that. Firmware clipper, firmware. Okay, here we go. This is the important part. PZ probe. I had one that works great and another I never got working right. Probably messed it up. I don't know. I think I have 4 of these installed and they all work fine. Now this is going to be different. I'm not installing this in the recommended fashion. I find out after I set up the stream because I didn't ask before. So 1 Newton meter of torque applied to a screw going through the PZ probe washer to preload the PZ sensor. Ensure the screw has thread locker once you have it up and running. Note that it can cause embrittlement in ABS. The screws come loose over time will result in inconsistent probing. PZ probe washers should be placed between 2 hard, smooth surfaces, covering all the washer to provide more reliable triggering. So I've attempted that, and I'll show you how. If the washer is going between 2 surfaces with a mounting screw, ensure most of the load goes through this screw. Having multiple screws will result in reduced sensitivity. It's vital to have the piezo element protruding from the mating surface to ensure that the actuation is applied to the piezo element and not the mating surface. Trying to get a PZ probe working. I've done it multiple times in the past. Added to, oh, it could be too much noise, yeah. An example of using a PZ probe washer between revo rotor and the carriage. So this is one of the E3D folks' printer. I've seen this in person. This is basically on some level what we're duplicating. Hey Bill, hey John. Okay, so to this effect, here is what I did. So this is a first draft part. This is the carriage that goes on right here. This replaces this piece here. I modeled a larger surface area spot for an M6 washer, and then the piezo element will go around here and then get sandwiched between this part and the carriage. So now second version, I just had some clearances I needed to clean up, so make it a little fit in there a little better. So this is the one we'll be going with. This is printed in the PPSCF, so we will see how this goes. And this should be a pretty quick swap. Let's try this. Yeah, that'll work. Relatively quick swap. There's not a whole lot to the setup here. This. So, are you sure that's strong enough? What strong enough? I'm not sure anything about this. Gotta use peak. I am not sure anything about this. Like I said, there is a good chance that this may not work. PPS CF. I didn't anneal it. So maybe not. Here's ours. So this has the drop effect V2 in here. Hot end. I didn't want to swap that out. The dust. Dedust it. I'm going to give myself a roll of PPSCF this Christmas. Nice. You see on Color Prints, he featured a trident fork. I don't know. I don't remember that. I have been printing a bunch of parts. Speaking of killer prints, printing, look at that. Look how gorgeous that print turned out. This will go, I think, somewhere around there. Yeah, but look at that. Keep getting errors on chat sends. I don't know how loud that is. All sounds like metal. That's all PPSCF. Okay, so this should come out of here. Okay, that guy. This will drop right under. There we go. I think I can kind of do all of this in situ. Hey Brent, what are you printing that PPCF? I'm having trouble getting hot enough. So interesting, Tiberium. That's an interesting question because I'm printing it on my gray Trident here that's on the stand. It's actually printing some of it right now. Here, let's go here so you don't have to see shaky cam. Let's see. There we are. Gray Trident over there, printing some of it. So that is a Rapido Ace in a Zoll tool head, and Rogue helped me figure this out really extraordinarily quick. I was getting errors on a print, not heating at expected rate with this print. Turns out that I am maxing out that Rapido Ace at 340C to print this. As soon as it would hit a bridge area for any length of time, it was, the cooling was ramping up and the hot end couldn't keep up because it was already at nearly 100% duty cycle. Hey, do it. So it would air out. So the fix was drop the temperature 5C. So now I'm printing at 335 and I turned my bridge cooling temperature down, and I haven't had it air out yet. But just an interesting thing that with these PTC heaters, resistance goes up as temperature goes up. So there is a cap on the temperature, the amount of heat they can put into the hot end, and I'm hitting it. So something I didn't know was a thing until this. Okay, back to working on this. Yeah, you still use resistive heaters. I mean, you're not gonna get to the temperatures you might need to without them. Hey, Polar Ted. Doesn't have a cap because mine was glowing red when I had a max chip failure. Yeah, so that is the tube very intentionally does not use a, oops, sorry buddy, does not use a PTC heater. Okay, you come out of here now. Is there a limit on inductive? I don't know. Well, I mean, a PTC heater, by its nature of increasing temperature, let's go. There we go. Increasing resistance as temperature goes up is where that limitation is coming from. It's a safety thing. It's safer. Okay. This, okay, here, let's do this. Because this guy, I'm setting a bad example here, but he's expecting treats like right away now when coming out here. Got that. Finally printing correctly, only for Elto telling you apart. Uh-oh. Waiting on a new PT1000 to print some PPS CF on a Goliath. Nice. Yeah, that's the other thing, folks. Don't try to run, if you're running this PPS, these high nozzle temp but not high chamber temp materials, need to take, as you saw, I have the silicone sock off of that. You want one more? Do you want one more? Yeah? There you go. You have been fed. Okay, we have to do some heat sets in this anyway. Okay. This thing's still set at, is this thing still set at 350? You'll always take more. Stay away from hot heater. Back in his spot. So if anybody wants to see a ridiculously cute picture, go on to my pet pictures channel on my Discord. And there's the picture of him as a 10-week-old standing inside of this printer. One more. Glass or carbon filled? This is carbon filled PPS. Hey, penguin. Okay, so that is done. Let me make sure. Yep, that's all good. Let's put this thing out. Okay. And let's get it on there. So this is here. Ah, well, that's annoying. I just put the heat sets in the first revision one. I need to put heat sets in this one. That's what I get for not paying attention. Hey, Armor 3D. Okay, doing it again. Doing it again. The timeout is. So I have found out if I shake this thing aggressively enough, the accelerometer does reset the temperature or keep it awake or whatever. Nope. Yeah, bring with it, yep. What is that? Ow. Jeez. No. You know, he has a thing about hitting the keyboard. Armor3D, thanks for being a member. Okay. That one. Where? There. That's done. There. It's back up here. Do you have any recommendation on the heat set tips for the pine saw? I just use CNC Kitchens. Okay, and then this one needs some droopy filament cleanup. Should be good. That one does. Let's go through. Yep. Okay. So now I want to put the washer in here. I think a good way to do that is to use Knipex and a second one of those washers. Uh-oh. Let's take it out of this one. There we go. That's something like that. Second one of these in here. Hopefully press that down into there. Okay. Just push it from here. There we go. Let that push down in there. Belfagor, thanks for becoming a member. Make sure that's all the way in there. And then, which way is this? Trying to figure out which direction or if it matters. Looks like, yeah, looks like it's that way. Just looking at the way, because this is folded over. So I think it should go on like that. And then we'll angle this up just a little bit. I think, so that's there like that. What's going on? But they were hoping, I think Bamboo threw a spanner in the works. What'd they do? Let's get this. Let's move this down. Emoji. Do a multi-day quill suited for this. You sleepy, Bill? Me too. I've been extra sleepy this week. Probably just still recovering. I'm just moving the bed out of the way. I don't think the PZ Probe has been the hitty 3D we're hoping. But you said bamboo. Threw a spanner in the works. I don't know. Okay, where did those? There they are. So this will go up in here, hopefully. Rotate that a little bit in there. I think it'll go. Bamboo disrupted the market and now people want the easy swap nozzle and heatsink hot ends. I see. Blue Valanche. How's the install going? Huh? We shall see. I'm just installing the modified printed part that I made for this. And then we'll get the PZ module installed. Okay, so now this in here. There we go. Okay, so that's there. These guys go back on. PZ. You're right, John. I think it's technically the PZ. Do you have a sacrificial PEI sheet to test it with? No? Okay, so it says 1 Newton meter. I don't know how that translates to Ugga-Duggas, but I'm just gonna put about an Ugga-Dugga there. Figure it might be a direct translation, direct conversion. We're just gonna see. We're just going to see. See what happens. I'm going to be testing this. I will not be driving it into the bed for the first test there, Turtle. You know me better than that. And a Martin from Argentina. I recently built my first Roaring 2.4 following on your video playlist. I'm very grateful. They were very helpful. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that, Martin. Okay. Hot end is reinstalled. Now we need to, where is the board itself? That's that. It's got to be over here. And so we went through all of this, trying to figure out, what's this? Oh. Paying full attention to this. Okay. And to approve I don't even see it. Bill? It doesn't even show up on my interface. That's annoying. Okay, so we will be temporarily attaching this. I'm gonna use like VHB tape or something. This is all, since we're experimenting with all this. So I just need to put that and get it somewhere where it's not gonna get caught. And I think up here is gonna be the best place. So the next thing to do is make a little harness. So let me get my little tiny wire pigtails. Is that these? Well, however long it takes me to build a little harness and plug it in here, Turtle, and figure out what we're doing for wiring. This is my stupid cameras and focus. See what we have going on here. I've got see which is going to be used. Let's bring up the wiring pinout diagram for this thing. BTTEBB 36 GitHub. Get to the hub. Okay, EBB. I do have 2 Gen 2s. They arrived today. So I have 2 EBB 36 Gen 2s that we'll be putting on the Trimax. This is what we want. EBB 36, hardware, and pinout. Testing soon, I can delay, expect get salty and just swear and Scott, yeah. No swearing. Okay, we have our end stops here. Already got all those wired up. This used to have an end stop on it, but I took it off. It's sensorless in X, but end stop in Y. Oh, that whole thing can unplug because I don't use either of those in this case. Okay, I'll just unplug both of those. So that's where I'll put it. I'm going to plug into 5 volts ground and PB6 is going to be the PZ probe. 5 volts ground and PB6. Hey, Cliff. Hey, Red Fox. Pressing the product team to get the docs out. The English translations were bad. Okay, so move things around here. So we have board, wire set. Which one is it? Is it this one? Yep, that one right there. So then we need a, is that long enough? It's probably barely long enough. Let's just grab fresh wires. Ground. Guess we'll just do blue and go. Okay. Now, what's the pin out on this thing? Ground. power trig. So black on the end. Black, red, red, and trigger blue. Go. Okay, now this guy here, figure out. So I think we're gonna put this. Yeah, I think we'll put this pointing down. This can just reach around the corner here, plug in. So this is very temporary. If this works well, I'll make a permanent mount for this, but we're just testing today. So honestly, I should just, well, I should cut these where they need to be. I have plenty of these wires, so something like that long looks about right. These away. Oops. And are these are full on XH. Temporary wiring management is temporary on geological timescales. Some of mine is too. Some of mine is too. Okay, and then that's a 5-pin. Use a black one. There we go. Okay. Crimpers, and where's the wire strippers? There they are. Itty bitty wires. Tight. One. I need, yeah, 5 volts, 5 volts. Okay, there's no jumper to set. No 19 extra volts. It's not allowed. Another thing I worked on the last couple of days, or actually, I don't know if it was Monday night, maybe. I have the end stop solution all sorted for Trimax. I'll show that off on Sunday. should work fine. And I think I'm moving nudge to the front middle of the bed. Hey, Killer Prince. Okay, so those are done. We have this guy who goes in that way, which means 5 volts on the end. 5 volts on the end, and I'm not gonna little screwdriver to push that in. Wire's not strong enough. Five volts, then ground. Then signal. Print colored plugs for the Vice Shorty drivers. Top is open in different colors with. Oh, that's a good idea, Bill. I like that. Talking about something that presses into the end of these. I like that. That's a good idea. Okay, so that should be good. Let me get a little piece of VHB tape. So you can just put it on the top of the thing. Just a little piece. These are completely flat on the back, so it is nice for this. Hey, GTR Dad. Come on. There we go. Okay. Now, here, I'm just going to sneak this down like that. Oops. Just like that. Temporary spot. That'll reach just fine. This will come around here and unplug the this big guy. There we go. And just push it out of the way now. This guy will come around. Twist that. Plug this guy in right here. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, that is pH. For some reason, because it's a 5-pin, it looked like, so now I get to do all this rewiring up here. It looked like XH, but that is a pH. Well, phooey. That is a pH. Wonder it doesn't fit. Okay, start over. Do that. That. Yeah, they're around here somewhere. And get the pH pins. At least I have plenty of wire. How can you search for what, Death Cube? It's obviously acidic. Come on. Oh, the depinning tool. It's J Ready. J Ready. If you search for J Ready on Amazon, you can find them. At least this is a more appropriate terminal size for these little wires. I'm not fighting the umbilical as well. And some alkaline water. One more. One more. Okay. Now, get a 510 pH. It's this guy. And same thing. Red. Screwdriver. Here's my little screwdriver. I didn't put it back, did I? Just get another one. Guy in there. Red. Black. And blue. There we go. Give it a Give it a twist. And pop that thing in there. Okay, it's wired. Our old wire just kind of hanging out here. Got that, and put the ribbon cable on here. Come on. Okay. Turn this around. Oh. Okay, now it's in. Okay. No smoke. This is a no smoking zone. I'm installing just a PZ disc on an existing hot end. Yep. The disc is right here on the side. We are going, this is not the ideal install scenario. Turn this off. Plug it in. And we will have a great view of any smoke if it happens. Nope, we got lights. Well, that's not ideal. Okay. That's not ideal at all. I'm hitting that pretty hard. That's a significant hit. You see the light go on? That is not normal behavior. Huh. It is on. Let's see what sensitivity value this is. One light is on. Let's find out. This may have been turned on before. Actually, this is one I was using on the bed. So it's on some other setting. So let's see what setting it is. What is this? Select. Oh, it doesn't tell us here. I think, is it no lights? Is the most sensitive? Is that right? Yeah, that's not. Okay. Let's try something. Let's try. There is a sensitivity dial, but it, well, there's sensitivity presets. Okay. And then does this need to be more ugga-duggas or less? Or something else? Let's try that a little less. Here. I figured this is a good test. It's taking what I feel like a lot to trigger it. Like on a regular, I could tap it with my with my finger and trigger. The PPS is too stiff. Well, that would be a good thing for it to be stiff because we want to transmit any force into the PZ element. Try different torques there. That's I think a little less. It's not consistent enough. Let's see. Let's first make this actually configure it to work. This will work. Mercury1. Mercury1. So if we go to the machine, this is relatively up to date. It's not too far out. I'm not going to bother updating it. I'm going to go into printer config and I'm going to comment out Klicky probe and go down. Is there a way for factory reset? Well, I mean the preset. You just set it back to the minimum preset. I'll double check that we're on the minimum preset, the most sensitive preset, and see what happens. Updating Clipper live on stream sounds like a great time. It was a great time. We did what, 6 or 7 machines live? Okay, probe. And we want to use PB6. PB6 is what I've got that connected to. So, oops. This. PB5. So we're going to go PB6. And we're also going to grab the code from this guy. This is the probe right here. Activate G code. I want this. This is the 150C code here. So we're going to copy that and paste it down here. And you go back to that stream when you want to update the V0. Awesome. And there are other tuning things. Let's go to here. Is there firmware set up for this? Firmware clipper. During the probing sequence, a current as much as possible. Good starting is 40%. Set our probing speed to 5 millimeters per second. We're at 3, so let's go 5. There are a few other things that we may need to check and change, but what else? Let's check our prep. Oh, so we don't have a homing safe home because we had Klicky, which was setting that. Let's just go ahead and grab it as well from here. I know this one works pretty well, so let's grab my safe or my homing override or whatever from here. X on Y. Let's copy these, and we'll put these down here. And let's see. Hey, precursor crits. Homing override, we're going, this is a 270 bed, I think. It's 270 what we have here. So, go 135, center position. I think the rest of this should be okay. They're not 5160s though. 2209s. Oops. There we go. Okay, we're in Mercury1, save and restart. There we go. I am going to go ahead and home it, and I'm going to bump it with my ruler here. See what happens. So let's home all. I got to retune senseless homing on X since I changed some of that. Oh, triggered after retract. Okay, so let's go back. So actually it triggered before I could even bump it. Let's go back to the PZ probe documents. I want to go back to what is the dwell time that's set. I'm gonna go back to Revo support because I know that is here in the Revo Voron PZ support, and Clipper, and oh, I guess it was probably in the other one too. We want this this G4 P200 in there. So let's go over here and printer and down in the probe. We want here in the activate G code. I think we can put it right here and save and restart. As usual, we're giving away a roll of Polymaker filament today. Links in the pinned post in the description, so get yourself signed up. If we go all the way to 7 o'clock, we'll be sending you over to Down Under Maker's stream. I don't know that we'll go all the way to 7 o'clock. We'll see. Okay, that saved and restarted. Let's try home again. Move, home, home all. I'll watch the... Okay, I think it's inverted. I think it's inverted from the other. Enter. Touch my script since I went to CAN. Just run firmware update. Oh. So let's go to the probe and pin. And should this be inverted? Let's try that. Save and restart. try this again. At least it's moving the bed more and more out of the way. There we go. I wonder how that's going to touch. That's a good question. That was a pretty significant bump I had to do. I don't know if it's going to, let's do this. Let's do this. I got an idea. What do you think? Let's get this at least closer to level. There we go. This is my sacrificial plate. This will bend out of the way. I don't really want to drive the tool head into the plate, so I want a spring. Got my finger on the emergency stop. Bend the spring. See? I had a spring. It didn't work. Hey, Rogue. I think the warning, the E3D guys warned me that this may not work. Because of the way this is. It likes, the PZ probe likes to be loaded evenly, not at an angle. Although this is how, oh, where did I put that? I reused this page. Nope. They managed to get this working. None of the pressure gets applied to the transducer. Yeah. Well, that's a bummer. So what can we do to try to make this work? And well, oh yeah, we were going to check to see if I'm even on the most sensitive setting. Isn't there, let's go to the other document because I think it's a little more, might be a little more fleshed out. Controller LED and presets. Here we are. Yeah, so off, off, off should be the most sensitive default. Off, off, off is the most sensitive. Where are Broke quite a few of my Dragon Burner mounts on my 0G Nebula build. 5 or 6 mounts while working on Z-Home and Z-Tilt. Ouch. Here we are. On power up, preset 0 is used by default. Remains as the default and cannot be between 8 pre-configured. Table below shows default values for each of the presets. Threshold 5. Oh, well, what does this one look like? What does 3 look like? This is 1. Let's see what this looks like. Threshold 3 or 3 should be off, on, in that direction. There. That should be 3. Let's see what this looks like. So you can see the LED. I feel like I'm hitting it too hard. I feel like I'm hitting it too hard to be. Because you can literally trigger this with your finger on the PZ. You can see the light right here. No, it should be right on screen right now. It's right here. That is more sensitive. I'm not hitting it as hard. You only see the green one. Do you have your screen? Are you scrolled weird, Rogue? Hey, Alex. Can anybody else see this right here? Maybe it's just colors. Maybe I mean, my preview, I see it. Just try it again. Let's see what else we have here. 1.1 no filter. It's kind of unreliable. I get it. It's hard to see. I'm just concerned. I can get it to trigger. Can we adjust? Oh, I can't do that. Why is the hot end fan on? Oh, because it's in a air state. Let's firmware restart. No worries, Rogue. You're good. Let's see. I don't have a good way of measuring the torque on this. Try a little more torque. See if that. Can't hurt, just put the ruler there again and have your finger on the off switch again. Yeah. Playing around with the I feel like that's still just too much force. I don't think we have any. Oh, I wonder if we have any room. Let's see something. This is what I had open. Little antithesis. There is. 0G. I wonder, use a jeweler's scale and measure the weight needed for activation. It's not really a pressure. So if I sit here and I can put a lot of pressure pushing up on this, it won't activate. But a bump, a relatively, compared to that, light bump will trigger it. Here's the CAD that I used. It does look familiar. You want to see what else looks familiar and absolutely gorgeous? Oh, that's opening up. Look at that. Some other parts. Okay, let's see what we have here. This is work I did on this to put the probe there. We need, what was this? About 14 millimeters. What happens? Do we have 14 millimeters to put it right here in the proper plane? I wonder. We have enough depth to do it, I think. Here, let's throw this right here. Let's do a 14. Oh, darn it. So close. That won't work. I think we need that full 14 millimeters for that to work too. That won't work. I got another one of these. Let me bring it out so we can actually look at it. Let's actually look at it. So what we have here, this is a fresh one. Problem is I don't know what if encroaching on the edge of this would, with a screw, would cause a problem or not. We can try it. The problem is getting a print going in time to get this attempted. So let's see. Let's assume we can. Let's assume we can. And we need to also have need to also have 11.8 millimeters. So we need a 11.8 in the middle for the metal washer, because we still want to put a metal washer on the plastic side. So we're sandwiching the PZ probe between two metal surfaces. And we need this to be right at, I think it was, let's see, about 2.5 I'm going to do 2.6 millimeters total depth. So it's 2.7, but we want it to actually be clamping, and I think a 1/10 of a millimeter change in the hot end position isn't going to make a big difference. So let's finish this sketch and let's just extrude this minus 2.6. We're not into anything. Let's bring that sketch back. And we want the PZ here. This is about we got thickness of that. We did 2.6. This is about 1.45. I think 1.2 will do. Minus 1.2. And then we probably want to re-edit this sketch and give somewhere for the wire, so we're not pinching the wire or the fold. So let's do, I guess I'm gonna just have this come straight out the back, and then I can fold it over. Yeah, straight out the back. Will that work? Yeah, I think so. So let's do a little centering line here, and then a couple of lines across, just to give us how wide is the ribbon cable here. The ribbon cable is 3.5 millimeters. Let's mirror that line across there. Make that a construction line. Make this width here. Can I get away with 4? Yeah, we'll do 4 millimeters. Finish that sketch. Now we're going to extrude this and this. Actually, we'll just do that as part of this extrude. Okay. So that gives us a little spot to try to put this in there. All of this, no. This, yeah. Let's right click that and suppress those features. And that brings that back to normal. Why aren't these? Unsuppress that feature. Okay. I don't know why it suppressed those. What is this one? What is that? Oh. Suppress that feature. Why is it suppressing? Well, we can do this. We can move the, why can't we move those? I didn't change anything there. Fusion, fusion's being fusion. Unsuppress. It insists on this thing still being there. Whatever. Delete. That's fixed. I had done some other work adding the other fan mount here is what. Okay, let's try it. Pasted my minimum in stream chat. Uh-oh. Minimum what? Oh boy. Oh, flashing updates. Cool. Okay, where is this thing in the browser? This guy. Base Rapido is what this was all based on. So let's save this as the mesh. And not there. To projects. Mercury1. And drop effect PZ. 2. What can we print this on that isn't going to take forever? I've got the Trident being utilized. What time is it? 6 o'clock? We have an hour. We should be able to get something done here. Should be able to get something done here. Let's get a V0 out here. Let's shut this down. Accept. Save. Okay. Oops, sorry. Let's get a V0 out here. Let's get this, try to get this printed quick. Don't those to drop. This should only be about I hope like a 30-minute print. Just grab some, I have some ASA here, V0 here. Let's give it a try. Yeah, we're just gonna go in ABS, ASA, whatever. The Phoenix has 0.6 nozzles on it. I don't wanna deal with that. While that is powering on, let's go here and delete all this. I think I want this to be saved. Print settings. What is that? Oh, not auto generate. That's fine. Change here. That's all fine, I think. Okay. Let's go back to printers and we want V0 red. V0.2. Say whatever. And 0.2 profile. Apollo. Howdy, man. How are you? One, and here's the, there it is. So let's drop that, and let's see how long this says it'll take. 54 minutes. It won't take 54 minutes. Let's go over here. V0 gold. V0 red. Nope, that's not what I want. V0 red dot local. Okay. Clean the bed. That print is going well though. More antithesis parts. So my question is, did this bed tweak on the trip to Vice? Because I took this printer to Vice. So let's do a home all first. Let's see how it looks. Do I need supports for the corner top holes? PZ is. Technically, maybe, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. We might get a little droopy, but I think it'll be okay. Let's do a hair bed screw adjust. Just want to see how far off it might be. Order problem found around 10 spools of Polymaker under the piles. Yeah, that'll do it. Did you see this, Apollo? Did anybody not see these? Okay, see that, and I'm going to say adjusted. Oh yeah, it bent down. So I'm gonna bend that back up. The bouncing in the trailer. Okay, that is far closer. Okay, so that is good. Let's abort that. Now I'm going to here and get this heating up. That is, yes, Rogue. On most of the printers, it wasn't too big of a deal. It's just the V0 here with cantilever bed. Just wasn't happy. So this is heating up so I can do my patented Chris's basement feeler gauge. Get this done real quick. Let me see. What do I have in here? I don't even know what I have in here for a nozzle. Oh, it's just a brass nozzle. Let's bump the flow up a little bit. Into fine. Oops. And print settings. Speed. It's all okay. Yeah, that's all fine. Slice it. Let's go. There's probably a... Oh, there's no... Okay. Comfortable. Yeah, it's 60C. Chris is just focusing on his day job. Get that thing out of there. And it's a 70C. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. It is changing. So there was some friction there a second ago. Now it's moving freely just from bed temperature. So I wanna do this at temp. Jackie. Hey, huge dino. Is there any reason why what we're doing won't work before I go too far? I think it's worth trying. Shago Funk from Chile. Welcome. $82 degrees. I'd say it's party day fun. Thanks, Andrew. $85. Oh yeah, and it just slides right along. Okay. I just go for it. This thing really should home. This really should home Z first. Apollo, thanks for being a member. I'll have to go back and see what I missed, but if you're I'd pop in for a bit before bed. Thanks for stopping by. 89 degrees. Just trying to shave minutes off here. Okay. Well, the thing about adjusting these on the bed is you want to make sure that you are not holding the screw when you're actually checking where you're at, because you can impact where it sits. You are so questionable choices. It says so right there. Call that okay. Adjusted. Okay, adjusted. Brad, thanks for the super chat. Go, adjusted. Head for bed. Have a good night. See you, Howie. Adjusted. 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 Okay, I'm gonna say accept. 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 Okay, so that should be done. Some filament on here. Welcome back, Andrew. That, bump the temperature, purge. Hey, Ahmed. Okay, it's there. Let's extrude. It's 50 millimeters. Extrude. There we go. And one more. Get this back to ABS pretense. And printers, slice it. It's my tweezers. Okay. Send it. Upload and print. That's not right. Come back. Oh, that's it. Oh, there we go. Okay. It's gonna print. Well, yes, we've ran into issues, but they weren't unexpected. I was warned that the configuration I had was probably going to be difficult to get working. There we go. I think that first layer is looking pretty decent. Yeah. Yeah, this one has an interesting sound, doesn't it? Is that coming across? How'd Modbot stream go? I meant to connect and pipe in, but I didn't get a chance. Oh, the song. Oh, the music. The printer makes an interesting noise. See ya, Apollo. Thanks for stopping by. You're clicking from somewhere? No idea. I'm going to try to get it printing before next stream. I see. Okay, well, that's going to sit there. Let's see what it says. File 45 minutes. It's 6:22. Says it'll finish at 7:06. I'm sure it's going to finish before that, but I don't know how much before that. Atomic is good filament, Andrew. Let me see. We can check out some of the things I did. This is the end stop bumper for the X for Trimax. This will sit up in the CNC XY joint, and I'm going to put a heat set here and a flathead screw so I can have an adjustable trigger point. It was a quick modeling the other day. And then I did the Trident. This is the regular Trident alternate Y end stop. It's in the Trident files, except for on the Trident, you use an M3 screw here. And I needed to use an M5, so I adjusted it for an M5. Now, it's not an M5 on Trident because this needs a 20 millimeter M5, and that's not in the BOM. So it uses a 20 millimeter M3. So, end stop setup is sorted. I'm pretty pleased with how this turned out. I didn't have CAD for the machine parts, but Vitale publishes a little like minimal bumper that I was able to derive the geometry from. It's shocked. It's shocking. What else? What else we got going on? Well, I've been printing all kinds of fun stuff in the PPA CF. Oh, and one of those. That's part for that. So I'm gonna try the tool head back plate for stealth changer in the PPS. This is just a Revo Voron mount. This is a tube compact mount for a ant head. There's not room for a counterbore. Nope. What printer do you use for the PPS? I'm using my gray Trident over here. The gray Trident with, oh, that's going. those prints will be done. Here, put a, you get all the stuff printing footage. That is what's printing the PPACF. That's almost done. That's more antithesis parts. So the nice thing about PPA and PPS is it doesn't require a high chamber temperature. It requires a relatively high nozzle temperature, so you need some considerations. If you notice, I don't have the silicone sock. This guy is not on there because I'm printing at 335C, and the silicone will break down. The bed temp on that is only 90C. The bed temp on that is only 90C. You do not need to print it with high chamber and bed temps. That is a Rapido Ace that's in there right now. And I am at the ragged edge of its, here, I'll show you. We are at the ragged edge of its, look, right now we're at an average of 86% duty cycle on that. That's the Zoll, Leo. And it's just a 4010 cooling fan or tool head. Only rated at 300C, which is why that's the limit of most hot ends. No, the biggest reason the limit of most hot ends is the thermistors. Your regular thermistors aren't supposed to go over 300C. That's the bigger reason. Yeah, that's 67C on a 90-degree bed, which is doing pretty good. Do they need to be annealed? They should be annealed for maximum properties, temperature and other properties. You are probably going to lose out on some temperature tolerance and maybe some mechanical properties. One thing that this printer has been doing that's interesting, like I said earlier in the stream before Rogue got here, if you're still around, Rogue was really quick to troubleshoot this hot end near its capacity issue. The next thing that it does is the last few prints, upon finishing the print, I get a time or two close air. The ones that do go over 300 are really inaccurate at lower temps, right? I wouldn't say inaccurate. The PT1000s are pretty good across the range of what we use. But you're right, most setups you do, they have a sweet spot, a sweet range. Yeah, down at room temperature, I don't think they're as accurate, but that's not a problem for what we're doing. We'll just go through all the prints. That does not look great. It is not tuned for this filament. I can tell it's got some PA issues, and we'll see what it looks like at the end. I'm not sure we're going to end up having time to install this today, but let's see if we can get in closer. But you can see some issues with that print. We'll see how it looks when it's done. This is ASA that's been sitting out on a printer I haven't printed this on. I'm not going to stop it at this point. We're going to let it finish. There. Now we get both printers. We get the corner cam and the main cam. Oh, what is, oh, I guess we're doing a member stream on Saturday. I have no idea what we're doing. But this is the last Saturday of the month this Saturday. Sounds like content for next week's stream. Maybe we'll finish troubleshooting this. Today's to-do list is belting and wiring the Trident. Nice. And then you get to build another one, right? Yeah, we might do I might line up a couple of things to be able to do on Saturday. This might be one of them. Trying this out. We'll see about another one. I might trade it for a micron in some way. Nice. At what speeds am I printing the PPS CF? We go here. If we go to print settings. Oh, I think I'm just using this profile. So this is what the PPS CF is set to. Saturday has LH Stinger build. That'd be a trick to have everything collected and printed for that. That sounds like a plan, Leo. That sounds like a great plan. We could do any number of things on Saturday. We could build we can build one of the A4T tool heads ahead of Sunday. We can work on, maybe we can do it all. We can do both. Work on the Mercury1 and build a tool head. That's not too bad. You're also getting harsh lighting on it. And of course, you don't mind shrinkage compensation for the PPS-CF. I haven't done a bit. Have not done a bit. None at all. What am I doing on remaining filament on that roll? Oh, I am close to out. I am close to out. What is that? Thanks for becoming a member. I pre-ordered the LDL Micron R1 from KB3D. Nice. I'll have to see if I can squeeze one more small part out of what's left there. Fill is on in 23 minutes. When are you spinning? Do you need to be here? Yes, you have to be here. And I will be spinning in about 23 minutes, plus 3 seconds. Oh, there we go. That print finished. There's that. Let me turn that off. That's what I have left. Phil is down under maker. Questionable choices. That is how much I have left. I can get another part out of that, I think. Ahmed, thanks for gifted membership. I can get another part out of that. Small part, but a part. Ooh, hot. Turned out so good. It's fine. They're just a bunch of new things that people are wanting to try. Yeah, Klicky is fine. It didn't work, Turtle Crawler. I don't know if you were here. It didn't work. I dropped the part. Dirty, dirty. Bunch of parts. Dusty. Thought about putting PZ on the switch wire. No. Just miscellaneous bits and pieces here. This is just another part. I think. Oh, yeah. This goes on here. Like that or like that. Oh yeah. And this goes, I think, something like that. PZ probe sandwich between two surfaces or just fastened to one face? Sandwich between two surfaces. But according to E3D, it really needs to be the way I did it. It's in a twisting motion to activate it. It needs to be a full compression across the whole part. To do some heated up, clean up on that stuff, but it's going to be an expensive antithesis. Expensive parts. I've got my collection of things going. See, I got the cooling ducts. So the goal is to try a different configuration here with the PZ washer sandwiched between the hot end vertical in line with the filament path. So it's pressing on it directly, and it'll be sandwiched by metal on both sides because I'll have a washer above and the metal of the hot end below. I need to anneal these and see what they sound like after annealing. Which, speaking of, since has anybody done one of these? Has anybody done one of these? Printables. They sound the same? Okay. PID annealing oven. This guy. So this is the same oven I have. Here's a link. The thing I really hate about this oven is its interface is absolutely horrid. You buy this little annealing PID controller, ramp and soak PID controller, and then install a SSR and have much better control over the oven. Well, I have this oven already. I was just curious if anybody had tried this and how it worked out for them. I have that controller in my oven and it's really nice. Okay, the same controller. They're not cheap. It's like 120 bucks for the controller. You have a Wi-Fi PID controller you need to install in the old lab oven. Apparently you can, it'll run via Bluetooth or an app from the PC, this particular one. So easy and high quality. Okay. That's good to hear. I don't use that oven as much as I should. I know there are some other projects out there for stuff like this. I kind of need a minimal project. It would be really cool to do like a full clipper controlled everything, full interface, set your annealing curve, set an annealing profile. But I don't see anything out there that's not a bigger project. This seems like a pretty small project. I can do this in a day, maybe a member stream. Or a Wednesday stream. I already have this oven built. I didn't know the interface was as garbage as it is. A few minutes behind. That was in regard to PZ placement. Yeah. Yes, linear to the direction of force. You want to load up the sensor evenly. And what we're doing in the Mercury here is we're loading up one edge of it basically, because we're putting a twisting force on it instead of a linear force. One of the nice things, since I do have it is a lab oven that's capable of getting to 300C, I don't feel like I need to deal with any insulation or anything, like converting a toaster oven or something to a reflow oven. I just need better control of it. Building printers that don't have electronics on the bottom, it's not that bad. I just need better control of this oven. We're at 647. I don't think this is gonna finish. I think at this point, we either have to go way over, which I don't want to do that to Phil, or we do a filament giveaway here in about 10 minutes, and we'll play with this some more on Saturday. Exactly, turtle crawler. That's one of the use cases I wanted to try, is put some failed prints in a tin or a silicone mat in there and melt some sheets. Hey, Blam. That part printing doesn't look even. This is lit very unflatteringly. So don't judge it from this. This will look a whole lot better coming off the printer. It may not be great, may not be perfect, but it's gonna look better than it's showing in the video right there. Phelps, thanks for becoming a member. We've had like 3 people become members without the outside of gifts today. That's awesome. What you trying to post, Blam? What are you trying to post? Unexpected maker. Okay, let me pull this up. Unexpected maker shop. Reflow Master Pro. Ooh. Buddy. Let's see here. 3 is this one though. Gergman, thanks for becoming a member. It's be 4 people now. Finally had a chance to get my own membership without being gifted one. First time in 2 years since I found your channel. Well, thank you, Musin. Reflow Master Pro is a toaster oven reflow controller with a color interface and graphical display. SSR, dual thermocouples. The thing that I don't know if I'm overthinking or not, but the thing I wonder about on these is the thermocouple. Are they compatible with the one that's already in there, or do I have to install my own? Got thermocouple input 1 and 2. That's kind of nice. What colors are on the one inside? I haven't taken it apart. Death Cube, thanks for becoming a member. It's number 5. A lot of them, yeah. Let's see what this says here. Any specs on the resistance of the thermostat on the current one? I haven't taken it apart. I think so too, Mr. Jackson. Yeah, it's a good call. Here. That's the thermocouple right there, I think. Black, blue, and red. William Nelson, thanks for becoming a member. Got half a dozen of you. Blue and red is close to type T. Coming to 3D Printopia. Got to chat with you for a couple of minutes there. Awesome. 3D Printopia is always a good time. Let's do this. We still have a... I am going to do more looking on this. Robert, thanks for becoming a member. It says it's a PT1000 in the instructions. What instructions? Yeah, thanks for the link here, Blam. I'm going to look at this a lot closer. Oh, and the printable instructions? Huh. The oven I have, let's see, we got a few more minutes. Let me bring it up. Oh, it comes with a K-type as well? This thing does? What do I get? Oh, you get 2 K-type thermocouples. Interesting. Oven. Excuse me. Oh, I got a new toy today, Bill. I got a new tool. Let me get a little copy of this. Okay, this is what I got. To work my way around. No, that's not what I wanted. This is what I bought. So this is the exact oven, the exact listing at least. What does it say here? Okay, Caleb. Oh, you've seen these before, Bill. It starts with an N and ends with an A, the brand. I've been wanting one of these and it dropped in price. This is a inside deburring tool. So you can put it through a hole and then deburr something that you can't get to otherwise. This was I think it was $19 on sale. Anyway, this, if anybody wants to look it up, that's the listing. But this interface, this interface here is just, it's not easy operation. Anyway, stomach's starting to growl. Wonder if it's a clone. I don't know. That's a good question. That is a good question. It's RC1000 is the part number. Let me see. Yeah, it was $19 plus shipping. It ended up costing me $28 with shipping and tax. What do we got? 3 minutes. Okay, we will start our 3 seconds here in a moment. Polymaker filament giveaway. Link is in the pin post and the description. This will probably finish before we leave here, but let's see. Is this the one? Yeah, there we go. 3, 2. Oh, this guy. Okay, 3. Polymaker filament giveaway. Links in the pin post in the description. You have 3 seconds to get your entry in. Saw the larger one that was $80. Yeah. It's normally listed, I think it's normally listed $30 or $40 is what that listing usually is. I just had it in my saved items and saw it dropped, so I bought it. 2. We haven't had a new entry since I said 3. Oh, the next size is up, yeah. I know it's a small one, but I have a lot of like M3 holes. I'm hoping that'll fit through an M3. Oh, we got a new one. 3, 2. We have 123 entries, so I'm tempted to just close it right now. If you want to break up the 123, do it now. 3, 2, 1. Oh, and finished. You're ready? Just close it. I'm gonna push it. 1, 0. Okay, done. If you missed out, you missed out. We have 123 entries. Thanks, Don't Knock It, for the memberships. Create. Oh, how are we doing on likes? Yeah, we're doing okay. 109 likes, 162 people. That's a good Wednesday stream. That's a good Wednesday stream. You rescheduled to 3 minutes past. That's hilarious. Who got in there first? Greenbeard was first. Who got the last? Who was number 123? Timothy. Okay, let's go here, here, paste that in, turn that off. Let's go here. Might be a little too soon. It is hard to find tech info about the oven. I should just take the side panel off and check it out. Let's do a number between 1 and 23. 1 and 23. One and 23. TJ said 14. We'll do 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Spin. Who do we got? Who do we got? What do we got? Magrozda. Congratulations. But are you here? You have 2 minutes to say something in chat, Magrozda. Congrats. 2 minutes. 2? There we go. 2 minutes. Magrozda. Are you here? Let's see. How many people? We can see by that list how many people are using their display name. The new one versus the old one. Congrats. There you are. Good job. Thanks for being here. Phil really thanks you for being here. Okay. Let's see where you are. Ah, there you are. Awesome. Congratulations. I actually don't have my template set up. But I will send that right now. So I will send that in the next 2 minutes. And that's not like 2 minutes, 3 seconds. That'll be in 2 minutes. So, how to change it back? Oh, yeah, if you're in the Discord, there's a link in Stream Chat to some instructions on how to change. But with that, thank you, everybody. It didn't work, but I wanted to try it. We're going to try this other method. I think we will be doing that on Saturday. So there's a member stream on Saturday. We're going to do that. We're probably going to work on something else unless we spend all of our time working on that. We'll figure something out. Tuxedo, thanks for the gifted memberships. We are going to send you over to Down Under Maker. They are going to be working on EBB 36 Gen 2 stuff. This, which we will be playing with probably a little bit on Sunday. So with that, have a good rest of your week. Hope to see you Saturday and Sunday. Let's do a quick, let's pop this thing off. Do a real quick, you're right. Let's see. It's not great. I'm going to reprint it for Saturday, but we got it done. Oscar's sitting on the thing. Anyway, be sure to say hi to Phil for me when you get over there. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the build. Bye.